What's up, Cowboy Nation? Really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in, being part of this thing. Really do. We're going to talk free agency. We're going to talk a little bit about money and the value of it and how the market value of something. You know, sometimes when you put your house out there on the market and it don't go the way you think it's going to go, then you have to come down on your pricing. Meaning that you may have a house that you put $250,000 out there, but remember this: the longer your house is out there on the market, the longer that value goes down. The more that the other houses surrounding that house sells at a certain rate, meaning that that will be close to the rate that your house is in. You can't put your house on the market and it's $250,000 and then you sit there and say, okay, I want that house to be sold that, when everybody else's house has been sold at $150,000. Now, you can get it appraised, you can get it reviewed, and they can say, okay, yes, your house is $250,000. But however, the surrounding houses will pull that price down. So it's like a reverse effect with the Earl Thomas situation. He put out there that he wanted anywhere from 14 to 15 million. Cowboys are willing. They already reported that they are willing to pay anywhere between 8 and 10 million. Now, by Tashard Gibson being signed by the Texans just a few minutes ago, that was the last suitable place for Earl Thomas as it relates to locations and range and things like that, right? And we already know that the other teams are like the Green Bay Packers. They went and got I guess his name was Amos. They went and got him. These safeties coming off the board. The market have changed in a sense, whereas Landon Collins, when the Redskins reached deep down in their pockets and they paid just too much money for that, it blew and made the market crazy, right? Then people start valuing the age factor. So by the Redskins putting the poison out there of signing Landon Collins for that outlandish, crazy deal, it messed up the market. And then on top of that, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, when they went and picked up the Honey Badger, it was over with from there. Nobody's in their right mind was going to say, okay, I'm going to go out there and get Earl Thomas's of the world for 14, 15 million. When I trust my coaching staff, to elevate these teams and make sure that they're getting the right players in those parameters. So that the market value for Earl Thomas may just been too high, and he might have outpressed and he might have outspoken too quick. Now, this thing is not over with. Remember, I'm telling everybody that after the draft, that's when all of the pricing comes down for our free agency. Look, some of the better teams right now are not making moves in free agency. Just the bottom line. Like the teams that pretty much, you can look at the New England Patriots, they're letting players go. So the thing is altogether is all we got to do now is sit back. Let's go through this drafting process, and it's all win-win for us. Those teams that went and picked up these safeties, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to draft a safety in the draft. That means that that player, the Taylor Rapps of the world, the Jonathan Abrams, the Thornhills, they get pushed a little bit backer and backer. It gives us a better chance to for us to pick up those particular players. Shout out to you, Boomer Student. Appreciate you for tuning in. Italian Cowboys. Yes, Abrams. Yeah, Supercharged. Appreciate you, man. So this is the thing. How we can look at this as a beneficial piece. You still can get Earl Thomas if pride don't come in the way and you say, well, you know what, I fold up like a wallet, I would go ahead and retire. If not, then the value itself, I love the market value, because the market always will speak for itself. Last night on the Discord, we was talking about the salary cap, era. Look, to me personally, the owners are very clever with this, saying that, okay, we can't afford to pay players, or the smaller markets will engulf and be horrible, and there won't be competition across the board. They have this notion that it will go back to the 60s and the 70s and the 80s as far as revenue, as far as the NFL. And I have a different opinion, I have a different view of everything. All of these owners are billionaires. They're not millionaires. These are billionaires. They have the money to pay players. But what they do is they circumvent it with the salary cap, meaning that they put it at 188 million. That all the 32 teams got 188 million dollars. The problem is with that is that when you have 188 million dollars and all of the collective owners are billionaires, they have more of the shoe in the race. Because what happened here is you get other teams that will set the market that have nothing but 188 million, although cap space is across the board. Now, I know a lot of people would not understand this, but the problem is that now you can suffice of having a player not being able to make the amount of money that he should be able to make. For example, D-Law. We already know that we think that 141 million is too much money to pay a person. Of course, 90 million guaranteed, that's too much money. But if you take away the salary cap, I guarantee you, Jerry Jones will figure out a way to put that money in his hands. But the problem is you got only $188 million to spend. So the issue is that these teams, these owners, knowing that. So I don't want to hear people talking about, hey man, the Cleveland Browns wouldn't be able to exist in this modern day time, or the Saints wouldn't be able to exist. A lie, because after the 90s, we have TV ad revenue, we have jersey sales, we have the Nike and Adidas, we have all of these sponsorships that didn't exist in the 80s, didn't exist in the 70s. So there are ways for these teams to get paid. But that's a story of a different day. I will break that down in another factor. But these owners are figuring a way to manipulate this money and not paying players the amount of money that they deserve. And they go back and say, well, it's the salary cap. Texas signed to Sean Gibson. Yes, that's good for us, DJ Mail. Appreciate you for the donation to help grow the nation. That's what I was talking about. By Tayshaun Gibson signing for the Texans, that eliminates the only other spot that will be a safe haven for Earl Thomas to go. But we'll see how this thing rock and roll all the way out to the end. The San Francisco 49ers already mentioned that they are out of the Earl Thomas sweepstakes. There's only one other team that would fit for Earl Thomas, and I don't think that he would go up there, and that's the Denver Broncos. I could be wrong, but remember, money speaks volumes. So, to me personally, Dallas Cowboys may be possible with 8 to 10 million, unless the New Orleans Saints say, you know what, give us Earl. We're gonna take one shot at it. Give us an Earl Thomas, and let's see if we can help out our back end of the defense. The other thing too is I like to bring this up. The Kansas City Chiefs. The reason why they went and picked up a quote unquote honey badger. Remember this, Cowboy Nation. Kansas City Chiefs was like top 3, top 4 in sacks overall. I think they had 59, close to 60 sacks. But the overall ranking defense was like 30, 31. So let me know who you guys feel that's more valuable. Defensive edge rushing or safety. Remember, I'm going to say this again. Kansas City Chiefs, they was like top 3, top 4 in sacks collectively. Blitzing, coming off the edge, creating pressure. But overall, the defense, it was top, bottom half of the league, number 29 or 30, something like that. This is a pass-happy league. I understand that we need players to get out to the quarterback. Yes, we can get that. But also, we need somebody that can take the ball away and challenge these passes that's been thrown down the field. Think about that, Cowboy Nation. So we don't want to just lead the league in sacks. We want to be able to get the ball in the hands, back in the hands of the offense, taking the ball away, turnovers, takeaways. He played 19 games out of 24. They're talking about Earl Thomas. I feel you what you're saying with that, but at the end of the day, we need turnovers, takeaways, and there's a conundrum. There's two sides of this. As much as these guys going out there picking up these veteran safeties out here, it's always a sweetener, knowing that when those guys get around towards the draft, that we can pretty much pick up somebody in the draft, opposed to, you know, getting one of these veteran safeties that won 14, 11, 12, 13 million. We gave up Tony Romo 108 million. Who does that right here say we gave Romo all that money? Rodney. Yeah, no, not even before. Yeah, I feel what you're saying. ET never plays a full season, but I feel you, Law. We need the ball back to the offense. Yeah. Hey, like I said, I like the Thornhill, what he said. He was saying that he was able to, he's a ball hawk. He liked to fly to the ball. He liked to get the ball back to the offense. I like that. I like that mentality. I love the Jonathan Abrams kid, the Taylor Rapps of the world. So we got some chances. And what's that guy from Florida, Chauncey? I like his skill set as well. That's been my time, guys. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, let people know where they can go to listen in to the information for the nation. I would say this too. Don't forget, guys, don't forget, this draft process is right around the corner. Off season is a long process. So for those who have thoughts of what their team is going to be now, it's understandable. But the real deal situation will be during this off season, how players gel together and how they can pick up the system that Chris Richard is implementing. So that's another thing too. And as far as the quote-unquote D-Law situation, all we got to do is just sit back and watch. Just sit back and watch. Don't rush it. You can't rush perfection, right? That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go.